Vanglorious Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United front. What you want, what you want, what you want.
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when you're square solid and you circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity, tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick a can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And US with KBA is a win-win. 1K, 1K.
Peace and Black Power, and welcome to another episode of the Black Survive or Die series. The choice is yours. Broadcasting live every Warrior Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, by our 5-star general of the Khalid militia. My brother, your brother, General King Samir Shabazz. I will start off this class, and the general will be on when he can. So let's get this started. I know y'all been waiting. I've been waiting on today. Today is a day like no other. A day that only comes once a year. In this day, in the spirit of this energy, our warrior ancestor, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, his transition day. As our ancestors and the Creator would have it, on the same day of the arrival of one of the boldest black men to ever walk the face of this planet, Dr. Huey P. Newton. So we here in those revolutionary greetings and spaces and places that we come before you in their honor. And the greatest tribute that can be paid to African retributionaries is to continue on their work. To not be dismayed, to no matter what kind of improper propaganda campaigns have confronted us through our visual cortexes, that we continue to stand strong and stand firm in the way of the African retributionary warrior. So welcome to the Black Survive or Die class and series. This is your brother, Knowledge Born Online, and I'm here momentarily standing in for our 5-star general of the Khalid Muhammad militia, General King Samir Shabazz. So let's get into today's degree. Today's degree is the Knowledge God degree. We're dealing with the knowledge of God today. God is intelligence and power. So we're dealing with the intelligent power of God on this Knowledge God Day, celebrating the arrival and the ascension of God in the person. These two African retributionary warriors laid down their lives for us, and we're not afraid to take lives in our defense. Two akin African retributionaries who suffer. So on this Knowledge God Day, all being born to build or destroy, we're going to build on some things and we're going to destroy some other things. So let's look at it. We saw many of us looking at this particular series of improper propaganda in regards to revolutionary warriorhood, in regards to imagery, in regards to historical inaccuracy, in regards to painting a picture of passivity, in regards to the imagery that was surrounding a warrior group who stood for our self-defense. So 2 soldiers who came out of these ranks, we honor today. We honor the co-founder of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense on his 79th solar return, Dr. Huey P. Newton. Peace and blessings be upon him and his warrior family, who was the co-founder, who looked across the Black landscape and saw that we had opposing forces encroaching upon Black men, Black women, and Black children, on our Black families, in our Black community, with no appropriate defense or response. And that visionary warrior co-founded an organization that was an appropriate response to police terrorism as a counter-terrorist force. As a counter-terrorist force, through surveillance, through intel gathering, and through direct engagement as a warrior should. Where are we with collecting our intel and our evidence? Where is our Watch a Pig program? Where is our Eliminate a Pig program? The mantras of our ancestors that was walking this way before us was very clear on what was supposed to be done with the opposing forces. We became too public and too social. Too public and too social. When it was time to see a panther, that meant it was your demise. These rallying cries and demonstration were used as a ruse. When we look at overt versus covert operation, military strategy and tactic, a show of force is necessary to strike fear in the hearts of your enemy. But when it's time for the engagement, use cover and concealment. So the effective camouflage of the cover of darkness and night, you can engage your enemies from a concealed position or from a covered position. So there were operational duties and responsibilities to our people, as George Lester Jackson says, unifying our people around realistic day-to-day needs. Realistic day-to-day needs. And food, clothing, and shelter. These are the daily operations that are supposed to be attended to with a fighting force that stands in the defense of our people. So we have revolutionary organizations that exist that are meeting the people's basic needs. We are organized in those positions. We are organized in those positions and charged with the duty and responsibility of the well-being of the people, our people. Before the confusion, there was no confusion as to who was the target demographic that we organized for. Before the allies, before the concessions, before it became a situation of oppressed people, it was clear. The lines got blurred. Lesson learned. Accept your own and be yourself. Accept your own and be yourself. America's response to Black people organizing together for the self-defense of our people was infiltration, was spies, was agents, was rats, was provocateurs. The infiltration. Our ancestors didn't take concession. They could not be bought nor sold. So they had to be eliminated. A painful revolutionary walk is to look out across the battlefield and seeing your people being slaughtered, eliminated. These casualties of war, these young warriors. This is the reason why they could kill a Tamir Rice, because they could kill a little Bobby Hutton. They could kill a Jonathan Jackson. They could kill a Fred Hampton Sr. with no regard to that life. You're not dealing with a living enemy. You're dealing with an enemy that lives off hunting and annihilating and destroying you. The hell you look like unifying with somebody else when your people are being slaughtered? What the hell you look like looking for an ally outside of yourself when you're being hunted, when you're being tracked, when you're being surveilled, when you're being annihilated? Where's your mind frame? Where's your heart? Where's your spirit of insurrection and retribution? How do you make scripture real when you say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a limb for a limb, and a life for a life? You come from those people. This is who we're celebrating today. These warriors who walk in retributionaryhood, out of love, out of care, out of compassion, out of concern. We don the uniform. Our political education is rested on the tactics, techniques, and procedures of eliminating our enemies, foreign and domestic, internal and external. Our retribution. Our retributionary role is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the cowards that exist amongst us. Yeah, we love cowards and rats and agents. We take pictures with them. We hug on them. We call them good brother and good sister. Where the fuck did this culture come from where we celebrating those who are bringing about our demise? In our lessons, we say he loves the devil because the devil gives him nothing. How can we now look at God's people in the same fashion? He loves the devil because the devil gives him nothing. You hear it and you see it daily. The internal fighting about a devil. Loving that devil, knowing that that devil will give you nothing, and being content with it. Our warrior ancestors, Dr. Huey Newton, Dr. Khalid, was very clear about who our enemies were. Very clear. How clear are we in our focus? What has this knowledge of God activated you to do? To build? What are you building? Or to destroy? What do you destroy? Who do you destroy? Where are your tactical training modalities where we are training those who are being hunted and slaughtered how to seek retribution? Street tribes got training camps. Street tribes got initiation. You could just walk into a revolutionary organization and put a uniform on. How important is that to our people? You ain't been through nothing to go no fucking way. So you ain't gonna have no loyalty. You're gonna have loyalty to who's feeding you. Nothing. He loves the devil because the devil gives him nothing. You vote for nothing. You march for nothing. You sing for nothing. You dance for nothing. You kill for nothing. So in the space of us organizing and coming together out of love for our people, and we see our people daily not support the vanguard party of our people. We got revolutionary organizations out here right now saving people's lives, rescuing people. When natural affirmities come, this program, this Black Survive or Die program was built with that in mind. This revolutionary insurrection force was put together to help you survive, to increase your level of survivability, your mental survivability, your emotional survivability, your psychological survivability, your spiritual survivability, and your physical survivability. Increase your chances of survival. To move you from a state of survival into thriving. So what do you build? Where do you build? How do you build? You will see our general week after week. Wherever you are, that's where you build. Wherever you are, that's where you build. Who do you build with? Scripture say charity begins at home. That's where the fuck you start. Where's your revolutionary home? Do you have revolutionaries in your ranks, in your house? Can you survey the landscape in your house and look at who's in your house? Have you trained them for what is inevitable? Have you prepared them for what's inevitable? Have you put them under test and trial for what's inevitable? Have you initiated their mind, body, and spirit for what the fuck must be done? If the answer is no, don't come the fuck nowhere near anybody else until you have done so. And if you don't know, take your ass somewhere and learn and bring it back home. Our elder, Robin Walu Muparudi, he got a set of skills. And he has levels of proficiency in them skills. In this book, Message to the Warriors. That's the baseline of the skills you should have and acquire. And if you have them, there's a space of mastery to chart and grade where you are with these particular skills. So the only things that should be happening in this space should be skills acquisition and practical application of those skills. You build something, you establish something, training mechanisms for your youth in your home, and then training mechanisms for the youth in your community. First aid, CPR. George Lester Jackson said, realistic day-to-day needs. Can you stop bleeding? Can you administer CPR? Can you splint a fracture? Do you know how to move someone that is injured out of the line of sight of our enemy? Whether it's standing, whether it's sitting, whether it's crawling. Where's your mind frame in regards to your survival? Are you able to hunt? Are you able to fish? Are you able to build you a structure? The general done showed us how to build a fucking lean-to in a blizzard, in the rain, in the darkness at night. What are you doing with the fucking training that's being provided to you free of charge every week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Are you applying it? Do you know how to live off the land? Do you know how to purify your water? They're in Texas right now fucking with people's electricity. They just cutting this shit off for the fuck of it. Blaming it on the weather. What can you do when the lights go out? How long can you survive? This is the orienting process of the Black Survival Die class. It started off as Black Survival and General Civilization class because we're dealing with elements of Black Survival and elements of General Civilization class. We running around here savage as hell. We're running around here savage as hell. So you see George Lester Jackson under King Samir, and you see Jonathan Jackson under me. Where are the Georges? And where are the Jonathans? Are all the black messiahs assassinated or incarcerated? I see they ain't catch up to these motherfucking Judases that's running around, since that's the topic of conversation. Where's the Georges? Where's the Jonathans that will go this far for their brother? That's the question that he asked. What would you do if it was your brother? We watch these movies, we see these false depictions of our ancestors and say, they would have just had to kill me. Nigga, they killing you right now. They killing you in everything that you love. Daily. Daily. Round the clock. Without fail. The pandemic ain't stop it. The election ain't stop it. None of this shit that you was fucking worried about ain't stopped the onslaught and murder and assassination of black people. And we got the pictures up today. We got the audacity to have the fucking pictures up today saying that we was rolling with Dr. Khalid and that we was rolling with Dr. Huey Newton. Public enemies number one. Infiltrators got to them with no retribution, with no retaliation. Close enough to kill them both. Is that going to be the legacy of the Black Messiah? The Black Messiah gets assassinated, gets crucified, gets double-crossed, gets set the fuck up, and the Judas get to walk around until they decide for their life to expire. They die by their own hand. We are Judas as a collective to those messiahs that soldiered amongst us. We let them get taken off the streets. We let assassination attempts happen. We didn't value the messiahs that are amongst us because we don't value the messiahs that's amongst us now. So this is history repeating itself. All of the Garveyites, let Garvey be taken to Europe to be killed. They let Toussaint Louverture be taken to Europe to be killed. All of these names that we can rattle off. In 4 days, 56 years ago, we allowed Dr. Betty Shabazz, pregnant with twins, and 4 little girls, to watch Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz, Brother Umwali, affectionately known to the world as Malcolm X, peace and blessings be upon him, be killed in front of their eyes. Be killed in front of their eyes. That's their lasting memory. Mama Kua, mine is pain with the stains of December 4th, 1969. No retaliation. We are a collective Judas to our messiahs. With our inaction, with our inability to continue on, and our unwillingness to continue on the work. We are Judas to me Abu Jamal. And all them black political prisoners behind bars, we Judas to them. We have not picking up the mantle and continued on their work. We have not collectively trained and built a retributionary force to answer for their capture, to answer for their assassination, to hold those responsible and accountable, and those who capitalized and benefited off their destruction. As a collective, we fucking cowards. The individuals to enlist and move objectively and begin to rain out insurrection and retribution, we leave them for dead. We disassociate ourselves from them. We call them crazy. And then say we love Dr. Khalid. We love Dr. Newton. We love Malcolm X. We love Marcus Garvey. And we ain't doing nothing that they did. We debating amongst ourselves over what they said and not doing what they doing, nor supporting those who are in that lane that have chosen to do what us as a collective are unwilling to do. We're not supporting revolutionary organizations. We're looking for a reason to be William O'Neills to those organizations. Agitate. Start shit. Motherfucking screenshots and all this other shit that rats and agents do that we think is okay. To spread rumors and gossip. To promote discountenance. As a collective, we bunch of fucking cowards. And guess who's watching? Our children. Our children are watching us be cowards. We say shit like, I wish a motherfucker would put their hands on my child. They're putting their hands on your children every fucking day. Mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. All these black children missing, no retribution. All these black women missing, no retribution. And we got the nerve to put our motherfucking black fists in the air and say black power. Even that fucking slogan, Black Lives Matter, prove it. Who you prepared to kill to prove that your life matters? What would you do if it was your brother? I want y'all to look at the screen. I want y'all to see what Jonathan Jackson is doing to this fucking pig right here. You see his arms in the air? Do you see the fear in his fucking eyes? This is not what you do. If this is not what you do, Do not part your fucking lips to say anything about them warrior revolutionaries who came before you. If you're not prepared to go this far. 17 years old. You wasn't prepared to go as far as Lord Bobby Hutton. Shut the fuck up. These retributionaries are not. We're not worthy to call their fucking names. We didn't avenge them. We didn't avenge them. Breonna Taylor, say her name. No retaliation. Corinne Gaines, say her name. That's it? Is that your level of disdain? Say her name. Not kill the motherfuckers that's responsible. In her bed while she slept. In her house while she held her son. This is what we come up with. Cowardness on the internet. She should have complied. Shut the fuck up. You should blow your fucking brains out. Samir Rice went to the store. He went out fighting for his life. He went out fighting for his life. He was bashing that bastard's head into the concrete. That's how he left the planet. How you gonna leave the planet? The greatest honor that you could pay to these people you claim you love is to continue on their work. And whatever level of contribution that looks like for you, and whatever you do well, do it in their honor. Do it in their honor. So when your name is spoken, it's spoken righteously. Not no fucking coward man. This retributionary hood is greater than any single one of us. And it affects all of us. There are pictures with people, with Dr. Khalid. I've seen them. I've seen the pictures. That was his enemy. They stood next to Dr. Huey P. Newton, and they was enemies of him. Either you're an asset in this grind for liberation, or you're a liability. So let's reflect on how our actions, habits, and attitudes affect this goal for liberation. Let's think about what we could be doing and where we can intensify. Let's think about who we could be supporting to do the work that we claim that we're supposed to be doing. All of the terms about boots on the ground. We owe a debt to our ancestors, to those in our family lineage, to those in our collective lineage. We owe a debt for betrayal, for cowardness, for inaction. We owe a debt for stirring up disloyalty and dissension. We owe a debt for betrayal and denial. We owe a debt for not being there for our families, not being there for our bloodlines. We have an opportunity to change that shit today. We have an opportunity to pass on this training and prepare our youth, those warriors in training, for their duties and responsibilities. If you ain't with it from yesterday, today you have the ability to make the commitment today, to start today. We got 6 years worth of archives you can go back to review. We got brothers and sisters in your community that can teach and train you. Don't open your mouth and say Huey's name if you ain't prepared to do what Huey did. Don't open your mouth and say Dr. Khalid's name if you ain't prepared to do what Dr. Khalid did. So this is your chance to reaffirm your commitment to yourself, to your family, and to your people. Let's ensure that the stories that need to be told and the legacies that need to be preserved are preserved in the best manner, because we're continuing on the mission. We're continuing on the fight. And that fight is the liberation of our people and the eradication of our enemies, foreign and domestic, internal and external. And if you're alive, you're on the fucking battlefield. And we're at war. So check us out next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here on Do the Knowledge Radio. Black Survive or Die class, in the words of our general. I love you more than you hate your black self. Black power.